Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. So we have Tony, Sajai, and Jeff. They are actually CEOs from some of the most innovative company here in the Valley. And then with that, actually let them to introduce themselves firsthand. Start with you, Tony.
Great, thank you very much. Pleasure being here. My name's Tony Shakib. I'm CEO of Exostellar. It's a cloud orchestration company. My background, actually Lyndon and I go back a long time ago. I was at Cisco, then I was at Microsoft, and I've been here for about 2.5 years now.
Thank you, Tony. Hi, I'm Sajai Krishnan. I'm the head of strategy for Clarifai. Clarifai has been about a dozen years in the business of AI, computer vision, and now orchestration. So we kind of are somewhat in the same space. So my background, long time ago, a Booz Allen partner, NetApp, AWS, the first GM for the marketplace there. VMware for multiple years, including CEO for the Wavefront acquisition, Elastic, and now at Clarifai.
Hey everyone, my name is Jeff Lu and I'm CEO of Akool. So we are a 4-year-old fast-growing AI video company, and we mainly do videos for interaction, storytelling, and create human videos, translations, and all that kind of stuff. My background is a lot of technical stuff and been working on AI and videos for a pretty long time.
Great. Actually, many of the CEO here, they all have enterprise background, actually, right? So you came from enterprise, but then AI is a trend, and you start your own company or you join the company as CEO. I'm pretty sure you want to realize certain vision when you actually join the company or start the company as a CEO. Do you mind share with the audience firsthand what's the vision and what's motivate you to step up as the CEO of the organization?
Sure, I'm happy to go. So what motivated us, I mean, our company is actually a really cool company. Started out of Cornell University by 2 professors that was very deep in distributed systems and virtualization. And very quickly we learned that, this enterprise AI stack is super complicated. The big CSPs, like when I was at Microsoft, they know how to manage it, but a lot of the enterprises, they don't have the tools, or the CSPs or the hyperscalers don't give them the tools to manage their infrastructure as efficiently as possible, because, inefficiency is good for them. They get paid no matter what. So our vision was to, create high performance and the best economics of the enterprise AI stack so people can get the most out of their infrastructure. And now that the infrastructure is getting even more complicated because, it's multiple vendors, certainly in the GPU space, NVIDIA has been very dominant, but, AMD, and there's so many other great companies that are coming out to manage a heterogeneous body of compute. And also GPUs and CPUs and NPUs and TPUs is super complicated. So our goal was to always automate that, manage it in a way where the application layer does not have to worry about any of that, and we'll handle that efficiency and the economics for them.
Thank you.
Yeah, Clarifai, started in the ML space way before LLM. So computer vision, and folks who were remember ImageNet, we were one of the pioneers in that space. A lot of DoD work, Project Maven, et cetera. But in providing a lot of that vision as an API, we realized some of the things that Tony was kind of talking about, and I won't get into the details. All that he said is totally relevant, that it's a complex infrastructure. But I want to put a pin in one area, tokenomics. The cost per token. It's very early in the enterprise usage of AI, very early, and so most of the folks have large, contracts with hyperscalers, and they're okay burning tokens because they're nowhere close to hitting those limits by and large. But next year, as they start approaching some production applications, those tokens are going to go out of bounds in terms of just exploding usage and costs. So every chief AI officer is going to be thinking about the ROI of each of these agentic applications. So when you see your reasoning models thinking and you see all of these lines running across your screen, that's like cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching for the hyperscalers. So that's something that on an orchestration basis, Clarifai would like to help enterprise customers with. So we like to say twice the performance, half the price.
Yeah, I'm happy to share the vision and the mission for us. So we started 4 years ago, which is actually before the ChatGPT goes live and the AI becomes popular. So at that time, we noticed that a lot of the AI image and video abilities are improving a lot, and a lot of new things can be done. But we didn't see the market is doing that yet. So we see the opportunity over there to work with these abilities and empower every organization. So our mission is actually empowering every organization in the world to be able to use videos to interact and tell stories. So really about the engagement and the experience for organizations and the enterprise, such as better videos to do marketing, and or they want better customer engagement with live interactive videos and live interactions. A lot of that is highly related to the infrastructure layer, like compute, because when you want to do these things at scale, especially live interactions and live videos, it's extremely expensive. And if you want to do it at cloud, then it's almost not affordable or financially makes sense for many organizations. So bring that to the edge, and that definitely greatly reduce the cost and increase the adaptation.
Yeah, thank you all the CEOs. Indeed, as we know, AI has been around for probably 75 years. And then in the last 2 decades becomes well known to many. And only probably within the last 3 years, the generative AI and agent scenario becomes more popular. Now, probably I want to start with you, Jeff. As the AI solution becomes popular, there are lots of business cases. There are lots of use cases. And then that's where the space becomes very, very competitive. So as a CEO, I guess top of mind, you always will be think about the technology evolution. How do I differentiate with the rest of the competitors? How my product is needing the industry? So probably start from Jeff, that side. You can share with us your technology differentiator and how would you stand out in the industry?
Sure, yeah. Definitely, AI video is a very popular and competitive market as well. And we do different, mainly in the space of the live video, how to you generate videos live in real time so you can interact with the video. So we are a pioneer in that space. For example, if you want to get customer support, we can generate live avatars talking to you in real time and in 150 plus different languages. So in places like airport, hotels, there's nobody able to handle so many different languages. And only with AI, they can help you to do all the live support. And for meetings as well, we can translate all the meetings in all the different languages. So you can do meetings with all the different people globally in the language of your preference. And a lot of the other use cases for the live videos, but we're definitely leading in the space over there for the live video, live interaction. And it's extremely hard to put these generative AI video models to run live and real time at affordable cost, and also run at large concurrency, because if you need to support large-scale customer support, each website might have tens of thousands of concurrency, and you can't have tens of thousands of GPUs to support your website. That's just too expensive. So there are lots of optimizations, lots of speed up, and also lots of the edge deployment happening, and we are definitely very strong at that, and a big differentiation for a lot of other players. Yep.
Thank you, Jeff. Sanjay, you would like to share your technology differentiator?
Yeah, so as I was mentioning, Clarifai has two businesses. So on the computer vision side, I won't go into it because we just have a long experience with complicated, object detection, full motion video analysis. And these days, kind of working in the sports arena is an interesting kind of use case at how to use that. And of course, drone lethality and all of that is a buzzword, and there's a lot going on there. But on the other side, on the enterprise side, tokenomics and delivering 2x the performance at half the price, things like that. This is an important aspect of it, and there are a lot of players who are trying to do this. There are, we work with all the GPU providers, AMD, NVIDIA, of course, NeoClouds. Vulture was here earlier. And they're all great sources for these GPUs, but kind of managing that for consumption by enterprises or AI native companies. And our differentiation really is, yes, we do provide very high throughput and economics, but in addition to that, just a simple Pythonic interface. So if you've got custom models or models, open source models that you want to bring on board, you're done in minutes. So that flexibility really matters. And as this topic is also about the edge, increasingly, I think we are going to start seeing more and more of those edge use cases. I was talking to somebody here who is in the manufacturing space, and it's a very interesting use case where vision and natural language are really gateway applications for getting into the physical world. That's a table stakes. You're doing like a front desk for a hotel. Natural language, vision are all table stakes. You got to get it done before you can deliver the value. So those are areas where Clarifai will help customers kind of provide the flexibility in orchestration GPUs.
Tony?
Yeah. So, we're a very different company, and our heritage, as I said, from Cornell, the first product that the team built was a very unique and patented technology called nested virtualization that we could do live migration of workloads. So we could actually grab a workload and move it from one place to the other while it's running. No one's ever been able to do that. And we started that on the CPU side in the HPC world. So we really understand the high performance computing. And then when the whole Gen AI explosion happened, then we expanded it to cover the GPU side. And what's really unique is to have a very smart and intelligent scheduler that can figure out how to place the workload over a heterogeneous body of compute and to really maximize the performance, the ROI, and most importantly lately is the power consumption. And we're very lucky, and I really mean that in a true sense, that we have this deep relationship with Supermicro, AMD, Intel, Rivas, NVIDIA, and we're working with every one of them. And right now we have our technology in the reference architecture, for example, on ROCm, the latest one, that we could do very accurate resource management. We have a technology called SDG, Software Defined GPU. So we could actually slice and dice up the GPU dynamically, which is a lot more flexible than what MIG and other time slicing technology can give you. So we start at the GPU level. Then we have the full orchestration layer that can do the resource management with hierarchical quota management. So a lot of the large enterprises that have thousands of GPUs, it's very difficult to sub-allocate it to their users. So not only we do that, and then we do a lot of smart optimization that if group A is not using their allocation, we kind of like steal it from them, give it to other groups, and then as soon as they come back and they need it, we reallocate it. The other thing that we did, which is very unique right now, we have a multi-cluster federation, right? So, and it's very different than what Run.ai and NVIDIA has. We can truly manage very large clusters, thousands of clusters based on different hardware, and then intelligently figure out where the best place to run a workload, or even if there's some inferencing module, right, that the requests per second are lower, instead of using an H100, maybe there's another AMD 300 or even an accelerated CPU that we could reroute it and run it then. All autonomously done at that level. And then the last thing that totally agree with Balaji with the multi-cluster orchestration. I think this meshed architecture between the edge and the cloud is very important. We have a lot of customers that for sovereignty reasons, they want to keep their data in their own private AI infrastructure, but burst into the cloud when they have extra capacity and come back. And that's a very difficult thing to do. So those are the things. And now we're also going much higher into the inferencing layer to optimize that. In particular, we have a technology to do PD disaggregation, pre-fill and decode, and figure out which is the best processor to run each one, and highly auto-scale it and manage it. So again, we start at the GPU level and work our way through the cluster management and now into the inferencing layer.
Thank you all. So one of the reasons actually I like to do panel is because I get to learn from all the great mind here. And then actually, Jeff, you touch upon the concurrency, the latency, right? When you have video creation, definitely that's super important to the enterprise customers as well. And I've also heard similar story from Sanjay about the edge AI, where you move your compute close to data and then you have that instant response and decision that actually matter to business. And Tony, actually one thing I definitely will remember is the workload migration lifetime. Because we know enterprise, right? 5.9 are super important to them. That's their SLA to their customer. 5 minutes per year, that's the only window they have to be done simply because they commit the 5.9 service agreement to their customer. Be able to live migrate this workload, be able to handle really low latency, and also be able to generate video for concurrent huge amount of audience. Those are super important for our enterprise customers. And then here we must have a lot of enterprise leaders here. They would like to actually get more insight. So here, your expert to follow up and then have more session. Now, we talk about your vision, your technology differentiator, and also I want to get your insight as to how your company get adoption from your customer, because ultimately we know all the technologies, we want to solve problems for the customer, we want to deliver value to the world. Now, probably if you don't mind, Tony, I want to start with you, because one of the things we both come from Cisco, I still remember the old day, people say, oh, Cisco, we have the best sales in the world. Well, probably that's not everyone want to hear to say, okay, if you have the best sales so that you have the best customer adoption. But rather, I definitely want to hear from you from the customer adoption perspective, what your team and company are doing.
It's a great question. Like honestly, it comes down to three things. I mean, ultimately, what everyone cares about the most is performance. Performance both in terms of efficiency of their AI practitioners and also in terms of how do they get the most out of their compute, right? And power management. Power is becoming a big, big issue right now. There's just not enough of it. That by itself, like if you go to somebody and say, hey, look, I can take the same amount of GPUs. If you have 1,000 GPUs and I can, make it act as if you have 2,000 GPUs, without having to buy any new hardware, it's a very easy sale, right? So that's really what we're trying to do for them. And the interesting thing is GPUs are expensive, they're hard to come by, they're scarce. And what nobody knows, or maybe some of you know, is that the actual utilization is very low. We work with a lot of customers. The allocation rates are high. People hog GPUs, they grab them, but the actual utilization is only about 30-35%. So there's 70% of wasted cycles that we're trying to recapture and use efficiently and give it to these enterprises without them having to manage that complexity. That is really important. The second thing is people want to go multi-vendor. They don't want to be just locked into one. So the fact that we can manage heterogeneous, they can, if they already have NVIDIA, that's great. Now they can expand it to also run AMD and other processors. That flexibility is really important. So we want to be able to provide that as well. They really care about that. And then the hybrid architecture, as I said, the ability to burst or run many things at the edge is important. And lastly, hey, look, these GPUs are getting more powerful. I mean, we're talking about like up to about 800 gig of memory, the way it's going, and the models are getting smaller. So the ability to be able to run multiple models on single GPUs efficiently is very important. So those are the problems that we're trying to solve for them.
Great. So we'll move to you, Sanjay.
Yeah, great sort of characterization of orchestration and the problems that are being solved. So in a complementary fashion, when I talk about or think about customer adoption, I think about it in segments. So of course there are frontier models and the big names that you see spending, hundreds of millions to billions on deals. So that's one class of customers. Then we have the AI natives, folks who are buying 8 GPUs, 16, 100, basically they have raised, the private companies raised 100 million, 200 million, et cetera. And for them, they're actually spending 7 figures, with Vultr or otherwise have their own GPUs, et cetera. Material spends, so where 2x the performance, half the price, does make a lot of difference. Then you have the enterprise customers, where at least today, and Tony, your business may be different, but from where I sit, it's challenging to actually sell, twice the performance, half the price to an enterprise customer because they have oversubscribed with hyperscalers. Token usage is hopefully in the next year, it'll kind of ramp up. By and large, outside of maybe like a handful of folks who show up in all the hyperscaler presentations, it is still early days in the enterprise. And there, I think the customer adoption, when during the couple of years ago when ChatGPT came out, that was kind of like the, brains exploded and everyone started using it. That sort of moment hasn't come for agentic use cases yet. The consumer adoption of agents is, in this 6-month window right about now. So Comet came out, yeah, it's kind of useful, et cetera, but it's not like that many useful agents. But Gemini has started. I mean, the last couple of days I found that it's kind of looking around in my email and it'll kind of format stuff and it'll integrate into the calendar. Stuff is just happening without us knowing because you have like, whatever plan. Early in Q1 of next year, I think enterprise brains are going to explode when people start thinking, by God, I can do all of these cool things and productivity increases and so on. So I think like next year, hopefully we'll have a better adoption where more enterprise customers will care about our value prop where, 2x the performance, half the price.
Cool. Jeff?
Yeah, I'm happy to talk about the customer and so on. So we are more on the application layer of the AI videos. So in the application layer, which means the use case and adaptations really varies a lot. So in the early days of the company, we see a lot of the usages around marketing advertisements from marketing agencies and brands, and then expand to film production and so on. But now, as we do significantly more of the live videos and live interactions, lots of the core values goes to the customer engagement and storytelling. So for the customer engagement part, quite many of them are offline, face-to-face engagement with support and so on, such as in the airport, inside the store, and so on. You have large screens, and you can talk with the screens, talk with the people inside, avatars, and all these kind of things. So lots of these engagements and improve customer satisfaction level. And a unique value we bring is putting the compute on the edge to significantly reduce the cost and increase the concurrency and lower the latency and make the interaction more natural. And these are the unique values we bring to the customers. But in the AI video space, many of them are in terms of the engagement and so on. But when you go back to the more static video generation, lots of the value comes from improving the productivity. So video generation is extremely hard. It used to be you need to pay thousands or tens of thousands of dollars to create a high quality video. But now with lots of innovations in the space, it becomes so cheap to create high quality videos for every business, and they can keep generating high quality content and share to the audience, and we help them to create them and empowering them to finish them. So lots of value here is really about the customer engagement and then make them get a good impression about the brand and get good experience with the support.
Great. And then we know that actually enterprise, they are also huge in partner. And I still remember, actually you talk about video and storytelling, I still remember the strike from Hollywood. So I think the AI is bringing a lot of disruption to the existing industry, including the enterprise in general as well. So based on your statement, Sajai, enterprise is going to probably go big next year, 2026. With that, based on the past history, enterprise also big in partnership as well. So we definitely want to hear from the three CEO, what are some of the partners you would like to pick and what kind of advice you want to give the rest of the audience to say, okay, certain partners, they can reach out to you as well.
Yeah, I'm happy to go. So look, it's really interesting. One of our investors, they're awesome. They've actually have decided to become a cloud company and build a new cloud from scratch. So they came to us and they said, can you help us architect this thing from ground up, from silicon down, up to inferencing level? And it was a very humbling experience, and you realize it's not easy, it's super complicated. And then we realized what an amazing partner Supermicro is. I mean, and you go and see the factory, and it's so impressive, like how they got all these things racked up and ready to go. And I also had a chance to go see Meta's, data centers and so on. So it's super complicated, right? It's a very humbling experience. And, we learned to, work closely with Supermicro. As I said, we have an amazing relationship with all the GPU providers, and they all have their own nuances. There's CUDA, there's ROCm, to get all the drivers to work. It's not easy, so we've been learning that and just working our way up. Certainly, Kubernetes is an amazing operating system to get into, and then to get deeper into the application. And then certainly the storage players that we're working with, a number of them, VAST, their names were there, they're amazing. Networking, there's so much complexity around, especially if you go deeper into inferencing. There's a lot of bottlenecks that if you don't have a smart scheduler to work around it and highly cost optimize, it's not going to be easy. But it really does take a village, And if I were to answer your question, we want to work with the best people that have the experience, that have built these data centers. I'm learning so much from Supermicro, Linda, and an amazing team. And it's been a great experience for me.
Well, thank you for the kind word. I think I don't deserve that, but thank you. So go ahead, Sajai.
Yeah, so we are a little bit higher in the stack. Tony, as you discuss it, I'm kind of figuring out where we fit in the map here, a little bit higher up. So I think in terms of interesting partners, both going up and going down, north and south, there's probably opportunities for partnerships. So when I look at next year, certainly enterprise agentic use cases are going to flourish more, and there are 100 agentic framework companies out there, and I think that enterprises will have to work with some of them. It's risky to go down the open source path because you'll consume a lot of your scarce engineering resources figuring out open source. So best to kind of partner with somebody who's got a platform. And for us to partner with those kinds of agentic framework providers, because we can drive performance and economy, and essentially these players need to remember tokenomics. Go to sleep thinking tokenomics. That's the key thing. So that's about the stack. So if you're going further down, next year is also an interesting year where I think applications on the edge, whether it's manufacturing or video kinds of use cases at the edge, where you have remote agents, whether it's your office front desk or your hotel front desk, these are all use cases that will start flourishing. Telcos are been trying to figure out how to dip their toes into the water here. They were not terribly successful in the cloud era, but I think with AI at the edge, working in manufacturing, hospitality, et cetera, there are use cases there. And again, orchestration that we can provide at the edge, looking at various kinds of model optimizations, and again, back to tokenomics for the customer at the edge. That can be a set of partners where telco partners, server vendors, AMD, and a plug for you guys. I think lots of customers next year will be looking for a second source. NVIDIA is good. I think Google with its TPUs has turned up the heat. I suspect AMD is probably going to do very well in that context. It's not easy to kind of create merchant chips in Gen 1. So good luck OpenAI, but I think AMD is actually going to do pretty well.
Thank you, Sajai. Jeff?
Yeah, so we partner with actually different players in the ecosystem. It includes the compute side and the cloud application side, as well as the vertical application side. So for the compute side, we partner with Supermicro. We also partner with AMD, and we work with Qualcomm and NVIDIA as well. And moving forward, probably ARM and so on. So really making these video abilities to happen on various compute and in a very efficient way is very important. And also we believe that with these partnerships can help us with the better go-to-market as well. And the second layer is lots of cloud players. So we are very close to AWS, Google Cloud, Azure, and ByteDance Cloud. And a lot of them have various use cases and existing applications and existing clients that want video abilities, especially live video abilities. And we help them, empower them. And we sometimes OEM for these cloud players as well. So sometimes if you see they offer similar abilities, we might be the people behind. And also we are powering some vertical applications as well. So one use case is like TikTok Shop and a lot of the other e-commerce related stores, and as well as marketing platforms and so on. And we power their video creation generation abilities. So these are the partners we work with, and we're looking to expand.
Thank you, Jeff. I know we are over time, but I still want to steal 30 seconds from each CEO because I like to hear your prediction for 2026.
I think everybody's trying to build up the infrastructure, get the maximum efficiency out of it, and we haven't even gotten started.
Great.
I think you have my prediction already. Agentic use cases in the enterprise first half of next year.
Yeah, so we see the video is really becoming mature this year, and it's both for live videos and for lots of the static video quality. And we see the market is exploding, so likely 10 times for the AI video market next year.
That's awesome to hear. With that, we'll wrap up this panel, and thanks all the CEO here.